Bonda family, what's going on? ML Sports Take here, brought to you by Welch & Company Jewelers, Stanley Law Offices, and Camillus Golf Club. Hey, make sure you support my guys at SBU Unfurled. I got this baby in the mail a couple weeks ago. I love the shirt. It's soft. It looks really nice. And gosh, look at that logo. Doesn't it look really great? So SBU Unfurled, we know the work that they do. So I wanted to kind of look at some of the newcomers on the roster. Again, we're going to be doing this now until the end of time with the transfer portal and NIL and all that sort of stuff, right? Like, a bunch of faces gone and a whole new roster is in. Freshmen, transfers, you name it. And so I'm not really going to get into what I don't like about any of these guys because I really haven't seen a lot of them, play consistently, number one. And number two, what I don't like is the same for everybody. And it's the fact that everybody's new and you have to find your way. You have to find your chemistry. How soon does it come together? Everything that we don't like about college sports, and the Bonnies in particular, for us as a group, we don't like the same thing all the time, right? It's this constant portal, NIL, new faces in new places, constantly trying to relearn rosters and where they're coming from. Some of these guys come from two different stops. Some of them come from a junior college into a spot and then another spot, which is the case, of course, with Melvin Council Jr. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to give you what I don't like because I don't think it's fair to the player. And what I don't like is the same for every single player because they're a part of what I don't like. It's not them. It's not the individual. It's the collective thing that I don't like, which is not even a Bonnie thing. It's a college sports thing that, well, they're all here. How soon can they come together? The chemistry. But so I'm not even going to get into what I don't like. And plus, as I mentioned already, I just really haven't seen a lot of these guys play. I haven't seen a lot of Melvin Council Jr. play at Wagner. I don't watch a lot of Wagner basketball unless it's March and it's conference tournament week, right? And then these guys just show up on the screen and you never imagine, oh, well, that guy's going to play at Bonaventure next year, right? Like there's so many balls in there, we don't have any idea. So what I'm going to do with these newcomers in the summer leading into fall, into the season, I'm just going to look at what I like about them, okay? That's all I'm going to do. So it's going to kind of be more of a positive, all positive video, right? Listen, he knows mid-major basketball. He went to Wagner. He knows what it takes at the smaller school level. He's also from Rochester, so he probably knows quite a bit, and there's a great one-on-one on SBUunfurled.com as well. But he's from Rochester, so clearly knows the Bonaventure heritage and the Bonaventure values and the Bonaventure thing and the phenomenon and how crazy we are. He averaged a bunch of points 2 years at Monroe College, right? So he started his career in junior college, and then he moved on to Wagner, of course, but he was a powerhouse player there. I like the fact that he's a 6'4", kind of combo type guard. He can go inside and outside. That's a very typical thing of a Mark Schmidt defense. He likes to, Mark Schmidt offense and defense, a roster, I should say. A combo guard who can do a lot of different things. He can pop out, play the outside game. He can drive it to the bucket. He can dish. So a combo guard is something that they need, right? Versatile, athletic, a little bit taller. And remember, going back to the Iron Men 5 2.0, good to great to elite rebounders, guards who can go into the free throw line area, get those tip balls. Think Dom Welch, think Kyle Lofton, those kind of players, even a Daryl Banks, those kind of players who are just kind of around the ball and going up and getting rebounds. We see a lot of Bonda guards the last 5, 7, 8, 10 years for Mark Schmidt. They go up and get 5, 6, 7 rebounds at a time. And when Bonda is defending well, they're rebounding well at the same time, which allows them to win those high 50s, low 60s, mid 60s type games. The defense rebounding kind of is a collective deal. So I think that Council Jr. has the ability to do that. How about the 1 year at Wagner? The guy averaged almost 15 points a game. Again, there's that rebound number I mentioned, just almost at 6 per game. That's a good number for a 6'4" combo guard, of course. He was an NEC all-tournament team guy with first-team honors. Again, shooting the ball is definitely a solid thing for him. In the first 4 win over Howard, he had 21 points, right? Against North Carolina in the first round, he scored 18 points. So this is a guy who knows tournament play. He knows mid-major play. He knows the Bonaventure tradition from being from Western New York. These are all things I like. The combo guard thing I like a lot as well. And he talks the right way in terms of the Bonaventure thing. Schmidt, athleticism, working hard, committing to both sides of the basketball. He speaks this way, and that's what you need as well. Remember, we don't have any idea how he's going to mesh with the rest of the roster, and that's the thing that I don't like about college basketball overall. That's not a Bonaventure thing. That's not an individual player thing. That's not a where they came from thing. That's a sports thing in college today with the portal and the NIL. But when I look at the combo guard possibilities, I look at his defense rebounding, his overall game at the 6'4" mark, what he can do in that Schmidt system, and how he can get coached in this system, knowing mid-major basketball, having tournament experience, being from Western New York, being able to play maybe a 1, 2, or 3 in terms of the point, the shooting guards, and of course the small forward. You can move him around a lot on the floor. He's a pretty fast player as well. If you go look at his tape, he can get up and down the floor often and early and often. Those are the things I like as he enters into his St. Bonaventure tenure. Melvin Council Jr. from Wagner and previously Monroe College, like what he can bring to the table. Long, lean, big, points, rebounds, assists, mid-major, Western New York, couple of different pit stops, tournament experience, perfect blend and fit into the Bonaventure system, both ends of the floor. Melvin Council Jr., let's hope he can help the Bonnies this season. Mike Lindsley with you here. It's an ML Sports Take. Stumbling Monkey Brewing Company bringing it to you. Get on over there if you're in Western New York. Great beers on tap. Amber Ale, Red Ale. They got the cherry one out now as well. Stumbling Monkey Brewing Company is a proud Platter supporter. Camillus Golf Club, Stanley Law Offices, Welch & Company Jewelers, all helping out on the Platter as well. And thanks to St. Bonaventure University's online Masters in Journalism program. Log on to sbujournalism.com. Tell your friends about it. Under 2 years, you can get your grad degree in sports journalism. Hit me on YouTube. Please subscribe to my channel at ML Sports Platter. It's so good to talk about the Bonnies again. Father Dan, it looked like the service was amazing, by the way. God, we're going to miss that guy. And of course, the new brands and the new logos and all that sort of thing. So we're kind of getting into a situation here this upcoming sports season. Some excitement, some new looks and all the rest. We know it's going to be about wins and losses and all that, but at least from a feeling standpoint, as we get out of these summer months and get into Bonaventure calendar year, probably some things to feel good about. Certainly sad about Father Dan, but gosh, his memory will live forever, and truly was one of the faces of St. Bonaventure University for all of us. No question about that. Make sure you hit me though on YouTube at ML Sports Platter, and of course on Instagram, on TikTok, and go follow me on X/Twitter as well at Mike L Sports. I'll have these, I don't know if I want to call them player profile type of thing. I could call them maybe player previews, just kind of what I like looking A to Z, 30,000 foot view type of stuff in terms of these guys and what they could do for the Bonnies. But we know the bottom line here, folks. We know what we don't like. We know NIL portal and changing the roster overall, all over again, and trying to learn these players and learn everything. I mean, it is crazy for even people who work in sports media like myself. It's just constant. You can't even keep up right now. I'm doing the same thing with the Syracuse football roster, 53 guys, newcomers, where they come from, plus the freshman, Fran Brown, new coaching staff. It is a lot, and you're doing it in multiple sports. So it's difficult for even me. It's difficult for you as fans. We'll do our best, certainly, but I want to kind of do this, player preview thing, at least from where they've been, what they've done, and systematically with Mark Schmidt and what we already know, how they can help the Bonnies on the basketball floor. Melvin Council Jr., everything points towards great stuff out of this 6'4" combo guard from Rochester, New York. Thanks for watching. As I always tell you, enjoy the games.